You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
And I'm Zack.
And welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink bourbon
and talk about it.
As you can hear in the background noise, I'm going to try to muffle it as much as I can, but we are coming at you live from Washington, PA for the annual Whiskey Rebellion Festival.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. And we're not alone. Depending on how... okay, now it stopped. Depending on how all this shakes out with editing, we brought our buddy Josh from Thrifty Whiskey along with us to do some video for us for both days that we were here. Josh, welcome, buddy.
Howdy. Glad to be back again.
We're glad to have you again.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you came with us because, I mean, we have, I know you've heard us talk about this event, and it's so much fun, and I'm glad it's back to 3 days again this year, which is awesome. Last year was only 1 day, but again, it was thrown together kind of quickly. But last night, Friday night, we all did the whiskey walk, and you had brought a camera and some really fancy video recording equipment along, and video.
Fancy.
It looked fancy to me, bud. Did some video recording of us going through the whiskey walk. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that, so basically what they do is they have businesses in town partner with a local distillery or a winery and have them post up, and you can go in and try. You get a wristband and everything. You go in and try the different whiskeys, the different spirits, I should say, because there were some clear spirits too. The different spirits that those distilleries have. You got a cool little shot glass with an upside down Alexander Hamilton portrait, which was awesome. And we had a good time. We didn't hit all of them. We skipped a couple of the wineries just so we could get to a lot of, so we could get to all of them within time. But I had a good time last night. Did you?
I had a great
with
time.
the walk specifically.
Yes.
I had a great time with the walks.
So you guys did a lot of gin specifically too.
There were some gins. Yeah. We're Zach's slowly morphing this into a spirits podcast.
I'm not trying to. It
just happens.
just kind of happens. I'm still keeping it whiskey primarily.
Dude, I can't hear you. You got to talk louder.
Sorry. I'm trying to keep it primarily whiskey.
Thank you.
There we
God.
go.
But yeah, no, it was. I had a lot of fun last night. Guys took me to Liberty Pole for the first time after the walk. So that was a lot of
we
fun.
went and hit that up after. Had to hit that up after for sure.
100%.
But all right. So we're gonna have interviews throughout the day, and they'll be intermittent throughout the rest of the podcast. We'll see whether this is a 1 or 2-parter, depending on how many interviews we do and how long they are. But we will be back.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Late as gate is.
So we are back. We have our first interview. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Amy Wadas. I'm a reporter with KDKA TV, so it's an honor to be here today with you guys.
Thank you for joining us,
It's
Amy.
an honor for us. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I think
seriously.
you're the first reporter we've had on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to get more people on.
I know.
You're telling me. Thank you for doing this, and I know that you were on your way out, so thank you for
no problem at all.
letting us just kind of
Very convenient.
catch you right before you left.
We're at the Whiskey Rebellion Fest, as we had already said. What is your connection to the festival today? What was your role?
I was the Grand Marshal, so I got the opportunity to be in the parade. We were the second car. I was in the silver convertible, if you saw it going by, waving at everyone.
Yep.
So the community, they invited me out to be involved in everything today. So, and then I did a little introduction to kick things off. We do a lot of reporting out here.
Yeah.
In the past, I'd say year and a half, I've done more reporting in the Washington County area.
Okay.
And covered some Whiskey Rebellion related things. So
Got you.
that's why they asked me to come out.
Awesome. That was gonna be my next question: is how did they pick you to come down and do that? But that makes sense because you just said it. So, question answered.
There you go. Shoot. Amy, I know that you're a reporter and everything like that. Can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing that and just your experience at KDKA and
Yeah, of course. I've been at KDKA now for 8 years almost.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time. Longest place I've ever worked. Like I said, I report the news. I go out every day into the communities around Pittsburgh and beyond, like Washington and other counties surrounding the area, and just cover whatever the news is happening for the day. I also get the chance to fill an anchor a bit behind the desk in the studio.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've
Awesome.
had the chance to do that too, so that's been a lot of fun. So been doing that for a while, and I'm actually originally from the Pittsburgh area, the South Hills. I grew up a Chartiers Valley grad,
Nice.
Penn State grad.
Nice.
So I have a lot of ties to the area.
Yeah.
I worked in Cincinnati prior in news, and then
Okay.
Wheeling, West Virginia, which isn't too far down the road
Not
from here,
at
about
all,
half an
no.
hour away from Washington.
Yeah. So we are a whiskey podcast, as we were talking before we turned the mics on. Are you a fan of whiskey?
Oh gosh. I don't want to disappoint your listeners, but I
be yourself.
taste whiskey. I've never been a big fan of the taste of whiskey, but I'm going to go, before I leave, I might try a little bit more just to give it another chance.
There you
Maybe
go.
my taste buds will eventually acquire. You guys might convince me that they will.
There we go. Good. Then what will happen is we'll have you on here again next year, and we'll track your progress from this year.
Oh,
next
yeah. I'll have to come back for next year, and then you can
no
check my
pressure, though,
progress.
John.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, though.
No pressure one bit. I know this is a whiskey festival, but I do like my ciders and sour beers and wine and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some moonshine.
There
Oh,
you
yeah.
go. Okay.
Yeah.
We do love our moonshine. Let's try. I had another thought, and it's out the window. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for sitting down.
Yeah.
Just wanted to grab you before I know you were heading out, so thank you again for sitting.
Yeah, of course.
and,
Thanks for
talking.
having me.
Yeah, definitely. We hope to see you next year, and hopefully you've attempted to try some new whiskeys.
Yes, I'm going to be tempted to try some new whiskeys. This was my inspiration. I'm going to check out, I can smell the food over the food trucks. I might grab something quick to eat
yeah.
on my way out.
Yeah, you got the food trucks. You got Blue Eagle Tavern, which has, I believe, Wiggle, Red Pump, and Still Mill. They have some cocktails and
Big
stuff
Spring
there.
was down there, too. I thought Big Spring was down there, too. Oh, no, they were
They were there yesterday
Okay,
for the
that's right.
walk. We did the whiskey walk last night.
Okay.
And then if you really want to try, you just kind of go around the corner down the street, and they got Liberty Pole down there. So
Okay.
yeah, they're big.
I will say the
Big
best
Washington.
cocktail you'll have.
I've been at Liberty Pole before for a story. We
Oh, okay.
interviewed
Oh,
them
yes.
about some things going on in the community
Yeah.
before. So they're really nice. Great place to check out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We love them.
Yeah.
I think Ellen is the best cocktail artist
Absolutely.
in the area.
Yeah.
I think in all
For
Pittsburgh.
sure.
But
Yeah, so if you're wanting to try something else, I definitely, if you're not going to hit the Blue Eagle Tavern, go around the corner and head down to Liberty Pole. So
Okay, good
Yeah.
advice. Thanks,
Perfect.
guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate
well,
that.
Amy, thank you so much for hanging out with us and letting us again just kind of sidetrack you and hijack
Yeah.
your morning.
all right, and we're back with our next interview. So please introduce yourself.
I am Shana Brown, and I am the Main Street Manager with the Washington Business District Authority here in downtown Washington.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah.
Shana.
Thank you guys for being here.
Of course.
We love our Whiskey Rebellion Festival. Obviously,
yeah.
like you can tell, a lot of work goes into it and a lot of different moving parts.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys being here.
I was
Right?
just talking with there's some family friends from that are hanging out here, and I said to them, I said, and any of our listeners that know Elwood City knows our 4th of July Arts and Crafts Festival, and I said this festival to them is the Elwood City Arts and Crafts Festival to Elwood City. I mean, it is just like it is the thing to do on this weekend.
Yes.
But
Everybody knows this is what you do in downtown Washington.
That's
Yeah.
great.
so talk to me about your role then with the Rebellion Fest.
So for this particular event, I was in charge of the parade. So
Okay.
the parade started at 10:30, ended right here with the reenactment, and it went really well. We had a great turnout, and it's just fun.
So is this your first year involved with the festival?
It is.
Okay.
I started last year, August 1st, so I just squeaked by missing it last year. So this is my first Whiskey Rebellion Festival. But
Okay.
yeah, so much fun. I'm local though, so I've
Yeah.
come here, as a community member
Gotcha.
for
Right.
years and years and years.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. So what made you want to get involved with the actual planning of it this year as your first year?
Tracy, I don't know if you know Tracy Libertor with the
Oh, yeah?
Bradford House.
Oh, yeah.
She puts this on, and with that relationship I have with her, and historically the BDA is taking care of the parade, and so I love working with Tracy. She's amazing, and this is no small feat. It grows every year, so whenever she asks me to take over the parade and keep doing that, of course,
Nice.
anything I can do to be a part of it and
That's
promote
awesome.
it.
Heck yeah.
So you think you want to do this again next year?
Oh my gosh, yes! I had the time of my life at that parade.
So are you? You might have said this, and I apologize if I missed it. Are you also in charge of the reenactors then?
No,
Okay.
nope. That's actually my good friend Terri Perry.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to get Terry on too.
Yeah, yes, we will.
She's all dressed up. I will definitely collect her.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll send her over.
Okay,
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a whiskey festival. Can you tell us something we like to ask everybody is tell us about your whiskey journey. When did you first kind of get interested in whiskey? Are you interested in whiskey? If you're not, it's not going to be offensive on the show or anything like that.
I'm just trying to filter myself because I did have one very memorable night with whiskey down to Liberty Pool. Ellen will have to tell you that story later. And that actually involves Terri Perry. It was her birthday party.
Oh my gosh.
That was my first experience with whiskey. And nobody really tells you when you don't drink whiskey that it hits you like a sledgehammer.
Yep.
And Liberty Pool is obviously they're top of their game with the
yeah.
cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
And it sneaks up on you. And
You're talking to two avid fans of Liberty Pole.
Very avid
I don't
fans.
think we go a show without mentioning them at some point in shape, in some way.
And they're they're the best people ever.
They're amazing
too. We
people.
love them.
Yes.
But that's been my
And you know what?
experience.
And that happens a lot of times when you go there. To even if just try something. If Ellen gets a hold of you and she's gonna hit you with some bomb ass cocktails.
Yep.
And before you know it, you need to stop at McDonald's to get some food to drive home because that's happened to me one too many times when I've come down.
I think that was my problem is that I went there thinking we were going to make it to dinner and we never did, and
No.
we didn't go to McDonald's.
I don't stop. From now on, whenever I'm coming down, I always stop and get something
Yeah.
because I know for a fact I'm gonna need something. So
Rookie mistake.
like at least they have the barbecue truck there. He can,
Yeah.
Preston can kind of
Yep.
help us out a little bit, but normally there's not a truck there.
Yeah, but and even after you eat the barbecue, then you go back upstairs and it's just like,
You
oh, let's
drink some
try
more.
6 or 7 more things, and then Preston's closed. So
Yeah, and everything they have is amazing. My personal favorite, and again, I don't want to offend you because this isn't technically whiskey, but my favorite thing is their bourbon cream. And
no, you are talking to two
That
big
counts.
bourbon cream fans.
the root beer floats, I could
my
drink
goodness.
those
Yes.
all day. That's kind of my
Yes.
go-to because I know that those aren't as strong, so I can have more than just one.
No, they're bourbon. I
oh
mean,
my
I've had other
gosh.
some of the big names do bourbon cream,
Sure.
and none of them compare to
No.
theirs.
No.
Ellen is just such a wizard with their
She is a wizard.
their recipes.
Oh, were you here for March Madness? They did the cinnamon toast. Oh my gosh.
No,
You've gotta
missed that one.
You got to get her to talk about this. They did a cinnamon toast crunch cocktail.
Oh,
So they
my
got
Lord.
I know. It was
Say more
out of
right
this-
now.
Out of this world. They soaked the bourbon cream in the cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh.
And, well, maybe I shouldn't be giving this away. Ellen needs to come here. I don't want to give away
She
any
always
trade
tells. Yeah,
secrets.
yeah. She tells us her secrets. It's good.
Well, they had another one that was the peanut butter crunch, the peanut butter Reese
Yeah.
cups.
Reese's
And-
cup cereal.
I know.
It's not just for
It was
breakfast
so
anymore.
good. And they topped it with the whipped cream and
Oh
yeah.
my heavens!
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, she is the best cocktail artist in Pittsburgh, in my opinion.
I might be a little biased, but
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. We I forget where Lisa and I were. I think maybe it was we were on vacation, and the restaurant was doing a cereal French toast, and they took I think this particular one was Captain Crunch, and that same thing they did. They soaked milk or cream in Captain Crunch, and then made the whipped cream out of that cereal milk. Oh God, it was so good.
That
It
sounds-
is.
oh,
It's so
goodness.
good.
But okay, so you started your whiskey journey with the Huffs at Liberty Pole.
Yep.
Couldn't
That's a
start
great
off
place
better.
to start.
Yep.
So what did you have that night? What was
Do you remember?
no comment?
I'm going to go with no comment. I think that's
Well,
where
if
we
she
need
would-
to leave it.
She had everything. She had a little bit of everything, probably. Yeah.
I really did. Just
nothing
thinking,
wrong
these
with
are
that.
great
I've talked about this before, but you know how when they have their old fashioned week,
Yes.
right? I came down during that week because I was like, I gotta get I saw the list and I was like, I know I want a flight of this one and this one, So when I was going to order my flight, I was walking past Ellen. I said, "What should be my last one?" She was like, I got you. Go sit down. I'll make you some. You want these ones for sure? Yes, I want these ones for sure. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll go make it. She brought me all 7. And I looked at her and I said, I have to drive home.
Oh my gosh, that's so Ellen though.
Yes,
that's
it is.
So Ellen.
Yes,
They're
it
just
is.
like so generous. And
Oh yeah.
have you done a tour? I'm sure you've done a tour of the whole distillery.
I mean, we could
and the
basically
fair.
give a tour
Yeah,
at this point.
I'm
We've
sure.
done. We brought so many people. I actually brought the friend that I was talking about how we have some family friends here for the one guy's his bachelor party, his local bachelor party with like the family group. I actually brought them down, and Jim did a private tour with everyone and did the tastings and everything. But then he went in the back and got more stuff for them to taste and everything. So
that's awesome. Yeah, they're amazing.
They really are. Mm-hmm. So how has your day been so far? You obviously had a very successful morning with the parade.
Yeah, the parade was awesome.
And that, I mean, it was we were right here. We got to see the whole thing. It was really great. How's the rest of the day been going for you?
Great.
What have you been doing at the festival since the parade was?
I mean, like I said, I was responsible for the parade. So after we ended that, I think this is. I think you're seeing the remainder of my day.
So it's just time to
That's
have fun
fine. Keep
now.
coming back. We'll fill it.
I'll keep giving interviews.
Hey, you know what? We'll
no,
be
go ahead,
happy
sorry.
to do that. I was just going to say.
So talk
anytime.
about can you talk about like the prep and everything that went into like getting the parade
my
ready?
gosh.
Like
Yeah.
how
The
hectic
parade-
was that?
The parade it's nothing compared to what the rest of the committee does.
Yeah.
Really it's just sending out emails and getting people to sign up and participate. And I mean, everybody's just so happy to be out and about again.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the energy and like the happiness level is high, let's say that, to get back out.
Yeah.
So I have a very easy job compared to what the rest of the group has to do with coordination and they work year round to do this though, and it's a huge success. We're so grateful to have it here every year.
So
I'm glad it's 3 days again. It was nice. I mean, it was nice that they brought it back for one day.
Yeah.
But it's nice that it's now able to get back to the 3 day.
Yeah.
Event.
Yeah. So how with the parade, what all goes into just gathering that many people and getting that many participants and just coordinating?
Like, are you
the order
reaching
of the
out,
parade,
or do you have people coming to you, or both, or
Both.
Okay.
So we have a newsletter. It's on our website, downtownwashingtonpa.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter, but we always let past participants have the first go ahead. So we'll send out emails,
Gotcha.
6 weeks out and say, hey, applications are up. Go ahead and fill out. We're releasing to the public next week.
Gotcha.
And so then, we'll send it out to our newsletter and then post it on social media. But we have, believe it or not, for our Christmas parade, I've been getting calls already. I had like 5 calls and emails.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
people love a parade. Mm-hmm. Again, my job's easy. People are always happy. Well, not always, but you're always going to have like that one group.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But no,
awesome.
It's fantastic.
Okay,
It's
and
great.
so how do you coordinate the order of the parade? Like, how do you determine where someone's going to fall in line with the parade? And
Well, after I get past the givens, you obviously have to open up with the colors.
Sure.
Right.
We when the veterans go first, so the VFW went first this year, and then we had our Grand Marshal, who was Amy from KDKA.
we interviewed her.
She
this
sat
earlier
down
today.
with us.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. So she was the Grand Marshal. She went next, and then you have obviously our Mayor Scott Putnam, and he was in the new fire apparatus, so he went next, and then after that it was the Whiskey Rebellion reenactors. And after that, it's the politicians, and we just kind of help facilitate as much as possible with the order.
we got a mayor usually sits down with us. We got to flag him down and get him over here again.
I'll shoot him a text.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him walking around yet, but I'll see if I can get him, and I'll get Terri Perry over here for you too.
Oh,
Yes,
definitely,
please.
yeah.
That would be
You guys
amazing.
will have a blast with her. Just don't get her to give any details about her birthday night with That's the only thing I'm afraid of.
That's okay. We'll save those questions
We're getting
for
some,
Ellen.
we're getting some
when we're off the
exclusives
record.
here.
Oh yeah, we've had some good Liberty Pole. They're just amazing. So
Yeah.
but-
We took so you see the video cameras here, and we mentioned this already, but we got our buddies at Thrifty Whiskey, which is Pittsburgh's only whiskey YouTube channel, and they do $30 and under. But he is way more knowledgeable when it comes to video. I don't even attempt that because I struggle with audio in general. So Josh has joined us this weekend. We were here for the Whiskey Walk last night. He did video.
Gosh.
He's handling the video. So this will be up on their page. But
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he hadn't been to Liberty Pole yet. So we
last
left
night
the
was
Whiskey
the
Walk
first
early
time.
and took them down, and just as amazing as they are, they showed them had them have a really good time. So
That's awesome. Well, we're so happy you guys are here. Thank you
we
again.
love coming here.
Yeah, we look forward to this
Yeah.
every year.
All right, and we're back with two new people to discuss, and this is we have folks from the Street Theater group. I think that would be correct. Yes.
Yes.
So please go ahead and introduce yourselves, and introduce if you're playing a specific character today.
Yep.
Please say that, or if you have a different role with the theater group or whatnot, please say that as well. So we'll start with you over here.
Okay. My name's Pete Fernbaugh, and I am playing the much hated Alexander Hamilton. I always say the unhip, non-rapping,
Yes.
totally villainous Alexander Hamilton
Yes.
in all his scheming glory.
I am Terri Perry, and I'm playing Rachel Holcroft, and I'm also the director of the Street Theater troupe this year. It's my first year taking over as director, so that's
Awesome.
exciting. Yeah, but my character, Rachel Holcroft, is the wife of John Holcroft, otherwise known as Tom the Tinker.
Okay.
Yes.
He, so you've probably heard of Tom the Tinker.
We yes.
It's our favorite whiskey at Liberty Pole. So.
He was a whiskey distiller and a farmer, and he, of course, was against the whiskey tax, and he wrote under the pen name of Tom the Tinker, and basically wrote notes
Yes.
to the businesses in town telling them, you know, better don't pay this tax, you know.
Right.
So he wrote under that alias.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just got to ask, why did he pen the name Tom the Tinker? Do you guys know? Do you know where that came from?
Clay Kilgore is the resident historian.
Okay.
And if you can get him on your podcast, if you can track him down long enough to get him on your podcast, I would feel much more qualified bouncing those questions to him. Because he can regale you. He's a great storyteller, too.
Okay.
Oh, he's great.
But-
Yeah, I should know that. That's a good
There was,
question.
I'm going to try to answer it, but I think there was a balance. He was trying to preserve his relationship with the government while also working against it. I think there was he was trying to play two sides at once.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he understood,
Politics.
well, yeah. Nothing's
So-
changed.
Right. Nothing's changed. No.
Yeah.
So you said this is your first year directing, and have you been in the group? Yeah, have you played that same character or a different character like over the years?
Yeah, I've played Rachel for, I think this is either my 4th or 5th year.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
COVID kind of messed it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about we've been here for 3 years, but it's we skipped a year. So
Really
right,
like
right,
before.
right.
Yeah. So we did a virtual thing during COVID.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, this is either my 4th or 5th year playing Rachel.
That's awesome.
So I've been involved in the street theater for a while now.
Now, what goes into you're heading up the whole theater troupe, yes? So, like, what goes into preparing for today, this role? When do you guys start rehearsing? Where? How do you determine roles? If it needs to change or anything like that?
Yeah,
Sorry, I know
a
those
lot
rapid
of-
fire questions.
No, that's okay. We started probably about two months ago or
Yeah.
so, 2.5 months
Okay.
ago, and we've rehearsed probably like 7 or 8 times or so. But
Okay.
we this year there was so new people added to our group. Because there was a few people that couldn't do it this year, so we added some new folks in. But so the scripts were already set for us.
Mm-hmm.
We have 6 or 7 years of scripts, and so we actually just started back on year 1. So we're on the first year 1
Yes,
script.
I remember
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
All right,
and
okay.
so we're at the first one. So I just kind of went through the script and to see if anything needed changed, tweaked. We added another character in, added some more lines.
Oh, nice.
Updated it, made it
Yeah.
more current, and then after that, we cast it, and then we started our rehearsals, and our street theater troupe they're all of them really are seasoned actors, doing a lot of different other projects too.
Okay.
This isn't it for them. They do a lot of different theater projects.
Okay.
So they're all very, very solid, experienced actors, and awesome to work with. They're all just super talented and just great. And it's been like the new people that we've added in this year too. It's been a really great mix of people, and it's just a really fun group to be a part of for sure. But it's work. Somebody said to me earlier, "Oh, I heard it's a lot of hard work," and I'm like, it's not work for me. Like, it's just so
Right.
enjoyable and it's fun. Like, this is, and we rehearse actually right here. Normally in the pavilion,
Oh, nice.
we'll rehearse here, and then sometimes we'll be over at the Lemoyne House Garden. But like, this is not work for me. This is my fun time. I get to come here and play.
Yeah,
you
That's
know,
awesome.
it's-
She's a
it's
mother
fun.
of 3. So.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is my playtime.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Nice.
The
We're both
script is
dads
kind
as well,
of
so
the scripts progress. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're
No,
good.
you're good.
No, you're good.
The scripts progress over the years, so there's a developing storyline. I don't know if anyone pays that close attention to it, but like this year kind of introduces Hamilton and his efforts to squash the rebellion, and he sends his representatives out here. But then next year it'll follow it through. What's next year? The hunt for
John Holcroft.
John
because
Holcroft,
he
okay.
basically flees and they're
Right.
searching for him.
And then at some point, David or Alexander Hamilton will actually come to Washington and make his presence known. And in that year, Washington is actually a character. President Washington
Yeah.
is actually a character.
Okay.
Because President Washington actually donned his military uniform again one last time to try to put down this rebellion. But he wasn't as
I
passionate.
see what he did there.
I see what you did. I appreciated that. I appreciate the reference.
You're welcome. Yeah, he really wasn't as passionate about this as Hamilton was.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so Hamilton, with Washington's reserved blessing, actually pushes forward and comes into town. Mainly because he wants to kick David Bradford's door down.
Yeah,
That actually
yeah,
did
yeah.
happen. So, because he's angry at Bradford.
Yeah.
Because he just feels like Bradford just hasn't done his part to calm things down.
Right.
So,
Right.
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
But it's
so it
hard.
continues over the years.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
But it's hard though, like, because our town crier said, you know, the burden of the debt, the war debt, is on all the 13 colonies. So where is this money going to come from?
Right,
so
right.
I mean, to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
for Hamilton, it's like he's trying to figure out kind of what to do.
Right.
He has a legitimate argument.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's got
Yeah.
tunnel vision a bit. He's
So I am ashamed to admit how long it took me to get the line from the show, from the musical. I just thought it was like, oh yeah, and then I didn't like. I forget how it took me way too long because I'm obsessed with that musical. And it took me
it's
way
so
too
good.
long to get like, oh, he was talking about this.
What's
Like,
going to happen when you try to tax
Yeah.
our whiskey?
Yeah.
Fun fact, when it was coming into Pittsburgh, when the touring
Yeah.
company was coming
Yeah.
to Pittsburgh, Tripp, who used to
Yes. Yeah.
run the festival, he
Trips last year was our first year here. So,
Gotcha,
Yeah, we
yeah.
got to meet. Yeah.
he wanted them, not me, to go to go
Not
to
you.
the
We don't want Hamilton.
to go to the opening night of Hamilton and protest it. Dressed up as this.
Yeah.
He could not get the approval
Oh, that's
No.
to
great.
do that, but
That's
he wanted
great.
to
That's
take all the
funny.
rebels up there to protest.
That's
We
Oh
were
my
all
goodness.
ready to do it. We're like, yes, let's do it.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
would've been-
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. So now, do you
hilarious.
normally? I know you say like the scripts change every year. You kind of have a cycle. Do you normally, like, does Alexander Hamilton have a spot in the street theater at some point every year, or is it like
Yeah.
when it comes up in the story?
There's one year that he is not.
Okay.
And I play a fictional character, a composite character,
Gotcha.
whose family was killed by the Indians, on the frontier, Native Americans on the frontier, and I have descended. My character has descended into alcoholism. And so I enter the scenes disheveled,
Gotcha.
drunk, and then I do a transformation midway, and I kind of become one of the businessmen to rally the rebels.
Understood.
That was our last year before the pandemic. Actually, that was 2019 we
Yeah.
did that script.
Right.
2020 we did a one-act dinner theater.
Okay.
Right.
I
Before
remember
they
that.
shut
I
down.
remember that.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
And that was right before the pandemic. So
That
yeah,
was
Yeah.
so much fun. Yeah, it was really right before things shut down. It was one of
Yeah.
our last performances, live performances
Oh
for a
my
long
gosh.
time.
when we
Yeah.
first did this script, we actually did the one scene from the balcony of the Observer Report.
You had
That's
to tell them,
that's
tell
so
them about
cool.
the story.
So they asked before I went out on the balcony, they said, so how much does this actor weigh? And Clay very generously says, about 180. And they said, just tell him not to move around a lot. They did not tell me this before I went out on the balcony.
Yeah, that little balcony.
So I go out and I do
do
the whole speech that I'm supposed to give from the balcony. I did not know until I got off it that I was probably on a hazard.
Oh my goodness.
gosh.
Yes. But
Wow.
it was fun. It's anytime Alexander Hamilton, if you know anything about him, he had a lot of insecurities. Just a very traumatized individual.
Oh, yeah.
And so anytime he can find a position of power.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he never became president, obviously.
Right. Reynolds pamphlet.
He would have.
Yes, he would have, probably. I mean, he would have schemed
more
his
than
way
likely.
there.
Right.
Well, there's some questions to that, because he shot himself in the foot, well, no pun intended, several times, so, yeah.
Very much so.
Lacking intact.
Lacking intact.
Yeah.
The thing that kills me about the musical, once again using poor puns there unintentionally, the thing that kills me about the musical is...
I'm so happy right now.
This is so great. I love this.
Is that, and I love the musical, is there's this part of me that just does not understand why he agrees to the duel after what happens to his son.
Right.
And
Yeah.
all the sorrow. That
Pride.
just
Pride.
so much. He's just I love playing him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a very conflicted but very intelligent.
Yeah.
Right.
There is, you feel a rush of power whenever you play him. So.
Well, that's probably what it was like to be him, right? Like he's this guy who just seems his entire, not to again quote the musical, but here we go, rise above his station.
Yeah,
just
that's right.
And he was obsessed with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was a guy who, when a sex scandal comes out about him, he's like, okay, I'm just going to release all the details to the press.
I'm gonna get ahead of it.
I'm going to get
Right.
ahead of it. Now what are you
Right.
going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
you
can't
can't
do
hold this
anything
against
now.
me. Right.
Can't do anything now.
Yeah, yeah.
He had guts. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
nice.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
fascinating guy.
So-
there.
Right.
You know, the same author who wrote the book the musical's based on also wrote a book about Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a great book, but when it first came out, I'm like, I don't think this is going to be made into a rap musical.
I don't know. Ulysses
Ron
doesn't
Chernow.
flow
Yeah.
as well off the tongue as
No.
Yeah,
Hamilton.
yeah.
But if
Yeah,
anyone could do it,
Ulysses,
it
I
would
don't
be
know.
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel
Yeah,
would
right.
figure out how to
Most
rhyme
definitely.
Ulysses with something.
Yeah,
He'll come
that's
up with
hard.
some nickname for him.
Yeah.
Odysseus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
it's hard to rhyme with that.
Yes, very much.
His biography of Washington is very good too.
Oh, I've not read that
Yeah,
one.
he has a good yeah.
He's such a
cool.
good storyteller.
He is. Yeah, he takes history and makes it so.
Chernow, I guess we should
Yeah,
give him credit.
Ron
since we're
Chernow.
talking about him unnamed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should he come upon
The
this, he'd be like,
mystery
Good,
of-
say
because I
my
didn't remember
name.
his name, so I'm going to
I'm gonna sue those two guys in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Say my name.
That's right.
Now we're getting into Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
That's
anyway.
right.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I was like, where do I know that from? Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so tell us about your character
So
and her role.
Yeah, we've talked a bit about Hamilton, but
Yeah.
that's a lot
At least.
easier to talk about after the musical.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, the hard thing with my character is that
You're a woman.
right. History was written by white males, so there's not,
As we know.
Right. So there's not a whole lot written down about the female characters. In fact, like some of the characters that we've created, some of the characters that we have in our scripts have been created. They're fictional characters.
Okay.
So my character, of course, is not a fictional character. I was a real person, but it's just there's not a whole lot written about Rachel.
Right.
I know I had 9 children with Jon,
Okay.
and I know that I was probably home most of the time taking care of the children.
Right.
He was a farmer and a distiller, so I probably worked on the farm, and the children were helping working on the farm.
Right.
But beyond that, it's hard to say about my actual character. And
Right.
we've actually tried, in some of the scripts, in some of the later scripts, we've tried to expand upon
That's really
the
cool.
female characters
Yeah.
and kind of like just think about what they would have been doing, what their thoughts would have been. Now in this script, I'm not really very much excited about my husband being involved with this rebellion because
Sure.
we just left Connecticut and to escape rebellion, and I'm like, now we're here and it's happening all over again.
Right.
And the Revolutionary War just happened. I'm just done with it. I'm
Right.
just like, I've had enough, and I don't want him to be involved in this anymore. And spoiler alert, at the end he gets stabbed, and it's just, and he has to run off and go into hiding. So it's just kind of like I'm probably, I can imagine as Rachel, she's probably just really sick of it. Like just wanting things to be normal. She has 9 children, and she's probably like, I just want my husband home and to have a normal life. So it's just, but the whiskey tax had affected, so many aspects of Frontier life.
Sure.
I mean, that was their livelihood because they used the whiskey for currency.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was how they lived.
Yeah.
So I could understand, why they were so upset about this whiskey tax because that's how they lived. That's how they got by day to day.
Totally.
So, right.
But who will, when he runs off, who will maintain his business?
Right.
It'll be Rachel.
Right.
David was infamous for barely being here. I'll get that dig in at David Bradford. He was rarely here.
Yeah.
So who ran his businesses? His wife did.
Right.
So it's unfortunate that more isn't written down, and we have to assume a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the women were important.
Yes.
Elizabeth Bradford was incredibly important to David's success. So that's one thing that they've tried to bring out more.
I love that.
In the scripts.
Right.
Yeah. But you have to read between the lines. You just can't go with what's established record.
Right. Yeah, because we just don't, because it's just not written.
Right, and that's just such a shame.
Right.
Might I say that was a wonderful piece to have to talk over. Yeah. They are very skilled.
I was over here struggling.
I'm like,
I was like, okay, so we're talking about these badass ladies. We got some punk rock going in the background right now.
I thought it was appropriate.
This is their soundtrack.
That's right.
I'm sure this is what they were hearing in their heads as they were going to Rebellion.
While the guys go and mess everything up, we're going to be back here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep this together.
Yes.
Yeah.
As per usual.
That's right.
That's awesome. Okay, so then outside of this, do you guys act outside of this theater as well?
Yeah, we do a lot of different things. As Pete said, I have 3 children, so it's hard for me to do bigger productions, larger scale things, but stuff like this I can do. Pete and I used to actually direct high school musicals together, but then after,
that's awesome.
So after I had my children, my first child, we just had to take a step back from that because it was just so much time commitment. But we do a lot of different community theater. I do mainly, because of the kids, I do mainly things like this, dinner theater type things. We work for a lot of different charity, different events. They'll have us come in and we'll do things. But our group, we do a lot of stuff. He is actually the executive director and producer for Cloak and Dagger. Ohio Valley Cloak and Dagger
Company.
Company, and sorry, it's a long name. I'm like, So Ohio Valley Cloak and Dagger Company, and we do a lot of things under that umbrella. We do, like I said, a lot of like dinner theater type things for charities. But one thing that we do, once a month we do. Well, you know what, Pete? Actually, why don't you explain it? Because it's
that's fine. You were doing fine. Doing fine.
I mean, maybe explain it.
Yeah, we do a monthly theatrical series called Cloak and Dagger on the Air. I'm a huge fan of audio drama, and so what we do is we sometimes recreate golden age of radio theater dramas. Sometimes we do our own. Sometimes, we adapt classic literature, and then we release it as a podcast when I have time to edit it and do all that.
I hear that.
Yeah, right.
He understands your pain.
Let's start a podcast. Oh, it takes a lot of time.
It's a lot, yeah.
But yeah, we do. We just finished the first half of our 5th season. Actually, our 6th, because during the pandemic we did remote recording. So yeah, and that's all on Spotify, Apple, and Google.
I started following you guys.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger on the Air, and we actually, like I said, we do a lot of like dinner theaters too. But we actually have some groups approach us, and we will write. Pete mainly, he's a writer. He writes original scripts for different things. One project we're working on right now is for Impacted Inc. It's a charity to raise awareness for concussion injury, and Pete is writing an original script for that. It's a wedding theme, so we're basically putting on an entire wedding. And there's a whole script to go along with it, and it's the
a
entertainment.
demented Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
That's how I'm thinking of it.
I love that.
Yeah. So we're working on that project. Actually, after this, that's probably
next
our
one.
next focus, our
that's
next
awesome.
gig. Yeah, so we'll be focused on that.
You know, a lot of our actors are professionally trained.
Yeah.
It's hard to make a living as an actor in this area, so
Sure.
a lot of us, I
Right.
mean, we come from all sorts of backgrounds, but they're all, in my mind, they're all professional actors.
Right.
They certainly approach it with that spirit, and it's just a joy to work with so many different personalities, so many different talents, and we really try to contribute to the educational aspect of the local. I do, and some of the members of our troupe do grants on behalf of Ogilvy Institute in Wheeling. In fact, our most recent upload in our podcast was a grant that we did at a retirement home in Wheeling called Elmhurst, the House of Friendship. And what we did was we went in, we collected their stories, aged anywhere from late 70s to 102. We collected their stories,
Wow.
turned it into an audio drama that the residents then performed in.
Yeah, these like
Oh, wow.
102-year-old
That's so cool.
residents are acting, you know.
A history
so cool.
of this area from like focused in Wheeling, of course, but from like 1919 until the present.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
That's very
there's
cool.
some great stories, great stories in there. And so we have an educational focus to our company
Right,
too.
right.
And in the next few weeks we're going to be uploading our full cast audiobook of a novelette called The Congo Conspiracy that I wrote as part of a grant project with a 10th grade honors English class up in West Virginia. So,
That's so
yeah, we try
That's
to do a lot of different projects.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to this wedding play that's next?
Yeah.
When is it?
September 17th, right?
17th,
September
yeah.
17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for, if anyone's interested, it's for Impacted Ink. I don't think they've started advertising it yet, but Impacted Ink is a very worthy cause too because it raises awareness for concussion injury and the permanent damage that can go along with concussions. So what they do is the money that they raise goes towards usually high school athletic, like sports teams, usually football.
Yeah.
And one year they did these really high-tech helmets for the students that light up a different color when a concussion is detected. So, and the money went towards that. But the dinner that we did, well, actually right before COVID, it was a really cool one. It was a Clue theme. We did it at
That's
the George
so
Washington
cool.
Hotel.
Oh, I love that.
And it was so much fun. We all played different Clue characters.
Shut
and-
down the hotel.
Yeah.
Every room was a different room in the Clue map.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
awesome.
Clue blueprint.
That is awesome.
It was so much fun. So that was our last big event when Impacted, and then of course like stuff shut down with COVID, so now we're back at it. But this one's going to be a wedding, and basically the bride stands up the groom at the altar, and it's like, I can't do this, and then there's a couple different grooms to choose from throughout the evening, and people are trying to figure out
that's
like,
awesome.
who's she going to end up with. Yeah,
That's so
so
cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's kind of melodramatic, I guess,
Yes.
fun, lighthearted. you know.
Demented Hallmark movie.
Demented.
I love that.
Oh,
I love
it will be.
It's just silly and fun.
To
you
keep
know.
me interested, it will be a demented Hallmark movie.
Demented.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no.
And we're back. Hopefully you can hear us over the band in the background, but we have a new guest here, so we're going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
All right, my name is Michael Snell, and I am a part owner of what we call Small Batch Gifts, and we make items out of bourbon barrels. So I deconstruct bourbon barrels and make centerpieces, tasting trays, ashtrays, cigar ashtrays. We make tables, bottle racks. My son-in-law Steven is here with me, and he's helping us out as well. We also make what we call wick on the rocks. So there are candles that are whiskey scented, bourbon scented. Bourbon smash is another flavor. We actually make them in a 10-ounce rocks glass. So when you're done burning the candle, you put it in the freezer overnight.
Nice.
You got yourself a rocks glass. We sold a lot here today of the smoking stage.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
That's
you know,
what he was saying, yeah.
I have the kit at home where you put the oak chips in or the cherry chips, and it's great. And I don't want to, disrespect that at all, but it's campfire.
Right.
What we do is we take about a 4.5 inch piece of a barrel stave, and with a torch, you heat that up, you invert your glass on top of that, and what you get is a smoke that is char, bourbon infused. It's a little sweeter. It's not so harsh campfire. We've sold a boatload of those today.
You guys might be selling another one here. Sure.
Yeah, do we have any more back over there, Steve?
We have our demo kits.
Yeah, we'll give you the demo. Worst case scenario, we got one left, you can have the demo.
All good.
Hey, we're good.
Good. Yours
I'm
all
back
good?
in. No problem.
So how long have you guys been doing this?
I'm going to tell you a whopping year.
Okay.
Now, I've been making stuff for the last couple of years. Right before COVID, I taught myself woodworking.
Nice.
I bought myself a miter saw and scared to death of it. Bought myself a table saw, learned how to use it. And I was in Heaven Hill Distillery in Louisville, and I saw the cigar ashtray, and I picked it up and I looked at it, and it had Heaven Hill's imprint on it. And I said to myself, I want to make that.
Yeah.
And so I've gone from ordering some staves, on Amazon to buying my own barrels now. So I'll buy a barrel, deconstruct it, make a table out of the table heads. I'll cut pieces of the hoop, put it on the ashtray, or put it on the tasting tray.
Yeah.
So I've taught myself a lot, but it's all around bourbon barrels.
That's awesome.
Go figure.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
Bourbon is good for so many things.
It's I got to give a little shout out to my son, who we have a bourbon club back in York called the Dividend Bourbon Club. We taste 3 bourbons every meeting. We have a monthly meeting. And then the dividend comes just like in a stock. When you get a little bit extra, you get another pour. And so that's the sort of, after we taste our 3 whiskeys, you have a dividend. And my son is, got a boatload of bottles, 160 in his house. I might have about 60, but we know a lot about bourbon. We run a bourbon club. We make stuff out of bourbon barrels. It's just it keeps me out of the gin mill. You know what I mean? It gives me something to do.
That's awesome. Love that.
So you have a storefront back in York too?
We do. We have it's a DIY kind of marketplace called the York Merchant, downtown York.
Cool.
And so we rent a little storefront there, a little property that we don't have to man, and they sort of take care of all of that for us. But we have a nice shop, so that's sort of where all our product is, and we brought a bunch out today to see how folks would do, and we're doing pretty well. We're selling a lot of good stuff, and
that's awesome.
So we're happy. For anything whiskey, bourbon's fine with us.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. So, do you guys do a lot of kind of festivals, or do you do festivals around the state? Do you do it around the country?
No.
No.
I'm going to tell you, we have the storefront, and this is our first one.
Nice.
So, we have this really nice storefront. My wife puts together, we have like napkins, towels. We sold a lot of bourbon socks today. Socks that say whiskey is my favorite passion or something. Like, you would just, amazing. We sold a lot of socks.
Yeah.
She's really good on that boutique end of it, so she'll find bourbon t-shirts, towels, one says beanie. She's really good with all of that kind of stuff. I just make this. So in York, we have this storefront so this is the first sort of, foray out into, hey, let's get a tent, let's figure this out, and we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you guys look
Can't
busy
complain.
when we stop by.
We're doing pretty well.
Heck yeah.
Why don't you tell them about our first sale?
So when we started in April, we started this storefront downtown. Steven and I go in, and we're hanging the apron, we're putting up the big sign, and we're not even open yet for business, and we sell a table. We take a barrelhead, we have one over there, wild turkey, so you can see the wild turkey print on it.
Yeah.
Wild turkey legs, and then we have a little shelf underneath it and a piece of the hoop that covers some of the wood underneath.
Gotcha.
And we hadn't even opened yet, and some guy and a family comes along, and he goes, I gotta have that. So our first sale was one of our most expensive items, a $250, but it's a
awesome.
nice side table.
Yeah.
Shellac.
Yeah.
Polyurethane up nice, and
That had to make you feel good.
it does. I mean, it's sort of, this whole woodworking journey's been fun. The whole marriage with bourbon's been fun. And, we just love it. My dad, who is 80, going to be 87 in a couple weeks, 88 in a couple weeks,
awesome.
is in the club, and we've been to Louisville a couple times with him.
Nice.
We just drink bourbon, we talk bourbon, and if you don't get it...
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's, this is fun.
Yeah. That's literally our tagline is we drink bourbon and talk about
We
it.
drink
Now,
it.
we drink everything,
Yeah.
but when we first
Yeah.
started and we were
Look
coming
at-
up with
right.
lines and stuff, we only really knew about bourbon. And we knew there was rye and other thing out there, but then we realized the true history that we had around us, and we just said, we're not going to change it. The tag, we'll keep it, but we drink everything.
It was on too much shit for us to change it at that point.
I started off as a Canadian club, VO, blended whiskey, and I still love a Windsor and ginger on the beach in the summer.
Yeah.
You put and they had just came out with black cherry Windsor. Ooh. Oh my God, it's delicious. But I was a VO, and then first couple Maker's Marks I had, I thought, like, what is this jet fuel? But I've grown to love it, and I'm partial to whatever my last bottle is my favorite right now. Opened up an Elijah Craig at home. I love anything Old Forester. I love, and I'm a Wild Turkey 101 guy.
There you go.
Period.
Nice.
Weller's good.
Oh, we do love Weller.
Weller Antique.
Yeah, we like Weller.
Yeah, good stuff.
Really like getting our hands on Buffalo Trace whenever you can. That's harder and harder to do now, but
Yep.
So Steve, what's your whiskey journey?
So when I got involved with the club, it was just because of family affiliation, and over the last few months, I just kind of grew to love, learning about the history of the bourbon. Every week or every month when we have our bourbon club meeting, my brother-in-law, his son, types up a info sheet about each thing we're drinking, and gives us the history, the makeup, all that stuff. And it's really neat to learn about all the different types of bourbon and where they come from, the history about them, and it just kind of adds another layer to the experience. So I've come to enjoy that rather than just drinking and getting a nice buzz. But
nothing wrong with that.
Still doesn't hurt though, right?
No, it does not hurt at all.
Part of the process.
Yep.
So do you guys ship? Like, if someone's not from York, can they still buy your stuff?
So we're on Instagram, Small Batch Gifts LLC. We have a website. We haven't launched it because here's the deal. I'm a one-man shop. I'm in my garage, and I love to do it, and I don't want to get to a point where I gotta hire people or put out stuff. I still like woodworking. It's fun. So we have a website, and we may put it out just so you can see variations on the theme. But we haven't accepted that. If people reach out to us or they go to our Instagram page, we'll ship. I shipped a 3-bottle rack the other day. It was a heavy barrel head with some half-inch piping that you screw together, and you can put 3 bottles. Super nice piece.
Okay.
But
so it's more like special order basic kind of thing.
Okay. If you reach out to us, we'll work something out. We'll figure it out. We'll send it to you.
That's good to know.
Yep, absolutely. We're getting there. At some point, I'm a one-man shop.
That's good though.
That's awesome.
Awesome. All right.
Is there anything else that you guys would like
to promote,
talk about? Anything that you guys are excited about that you just want to share?
I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you guys anytime. We're in the bourbon family, whiskey family. It's a good conversation. We just enjoy what we do, whether it's the candles that we make that are in rocks glasses that are bourbon flavored, whiskey flavored. Our soaps, we have an old-fashioned soap, a highball soap, which is whiskey and oak. Really smells good. And again, I will say to all your male listeners out there, when you wash in the morning with this bar of soap called the highball, it's a good day, man. It's okay. Or the old-fashioned. Oh, I'm washing with the old-fashioned today. Yeah. It's a good thing. And so everything we do is around bourbon. Our candles are in glasses that are rocks glasses. When you're done, you can reuse them. We just like the community. We like bourbon. That's where we're at. So check us out on Instagram, Small Batch Gifts LLC, and reach out to us. We'll be happy to work with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Wonderful. Thanks for having time.
I'm Amy Wadas with KDKA TV, and cheers to Yins.
I am Shana Brown. I am the Main Street Manager with the Washington Business District Authority, and cheers to Yins.
This is Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, saying, cheers to Yins.
And this is Rachel Holcroft. Cheers to Yins and to the rebellion.
Huzzah!
So my name is Michael Snell. We're with Small Batch Gifts LLC, and cheers to Yins.
I'm Steve Auburn with Small Batch Gifts LLC, and cheers to Yins.